Welcome back to the Sifra channel. My name is Amjad and today we'll be making Yemeni Luhooh. Luhooh is a type of Yemeni bread, or I think it's more similar to a crepe to be honest, and they're very similar to Ethiopian injera bread, which has a very similar texture in the sense that one side is bubbly and the other is smooth. However, injera bread is more sour, whereas Yemeni Luhooh is more savory. Now, it's used in a variety of recipes, most traditionally kind of like a bread, just like I said, where you'll rip a piece, use it to pinch some Yemeni Luhooh, which is a tomato salsa, and pretty much enjoy it with any sort of dip or stew or protein. Another very traditional recipe is Yemeni shufut, and this is my favorite use of all time. It's basically an herb and yogurt mix that is layered with the crepes and creates the most amazing appetizer. So stay tuned for the full recipe and don't forget to subscribe. Now to get started, we're using 1 cup of warm water. It should be still comfortable enough to touch, so it shouldn't be too hot. Warm water is really what's going to activate your yeast, so you want to make sure you get this part right. We're going to add some sugar as well, which will dissolve in the water. Give those a gentle mix and set it aside while we prepare the other dry ingredients. So in a large bowl, we will mix 3/4 of a cup of white flour, 1/4 of a cup of wheat flour, 1/2 a cup of pancake mix. You can use whatever mix you like. I prefer the Aunt Jemima mix, and some salt. So we're just gonna whisk those dry ingredients just to make sure they're well incorporated, and then we're gonna check on the yeast. It's been about 5 minutes and it looks like it's activated beautifully. And so we're gonna go ahead and add that to our dry mixture. Gonna give it a mix and then slowly start to add about 2 cups of additional warm water. And I'm gonna do this gradually because you may end up needing less or you may need an extra 1/2 cup more. What you're looking for is a pretty thin crepe-like consistency. You don't want it to be as thick as a pancake batter, for instance. And for our last ingredient, we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now that we're ready, I'm going to use a blender and give this a buzz for about 2 minutes. The goal is to create as much air as possible. If you don't have an immersion blender, just use a regular blender or use the power of your arm. It may take a little bit longer, but what you're looking for are a lot of these bubbles. That's how you'll know that your crepe batter is ready to be used. Now the temperature of your nonstick crepe pan is really important. And first I'm gonna show you what it will look like when your pan is not hot enough. As you can see, the little bubbles are very small and the pace at which the outside circle is cooking is also very slow. And then you'll notice that it is not browning on the bottom. So this is a sign that your heat is not high enough. Don't go crazy. I mean, the first one may fail. It will either look like this or it'll be way too hot and you'll likely burn a little bit of the bottom. So don't worry, the first one is always tough. Now, once you figure out that perfect balance of medium-high heat, you will instantly see those larger bubbles form. This is how you know you're at the right temperature. And it will literally take only 2 to 3 minutes depending on how wide your pan is. And you want to keep a close eye on it. Don't step away because you need to make sure that it's not burning on the bottom. If you feel like the top part still looks a little doughy, all you have to do is find a lid that fits, and a quick 30 seconds of that will help the top steam up really quickly. And that's pretty much it. Once you master it, you will realize how simple it is, and what you're looking for is that beautiful golden bottom, and you want to very gently move each luhooh onto some paper towels, and that will help it cool down. You don't want to overlap them because then they will stick and it'll be a disaster. So spread them out. So something that's very key about luhooh, you want to make sure that they cool completely before you layer them up and store them aside for when you're ready to serve. This is because they have a tendency to get sticky and they will actually attach to one another. So this is just a traditional way of serving them, one on top of the other with the opposite side facing down first. Now the best way to store these is to cover them up with a clean dish towel or some paper towels and then stick the whole thing into a large tight sealed Ziploc. It'll last you easily between 2 and 4 days. Now I highly suggest you check out the next video that I'll be posting, which is Yemeni Luhooh. It's that beautiful herby yogurt dessert that's layered with this لحوح, and it is super simple and easy to make and even more delicious. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos.